Hey guys, just wanted to do a new video here. I know probably like the past year, most of my videos have been kind of Elvis related, and I'm still going to do some Elvis videos, but I wanted to also do other videos on different like things, other DVDs, Blu-rays, and stuff like that. One of the things I'm a big, I guess, fan of is physical media. Blu-rays, DVDs, records, of course, CDs, physical media, not depending on streaming. Even though I do have streaming services, I always say like with streaming, sometimes you don't own that movie or TV show. Within that, it could be taken off. So I always say if you really enjoy a particular movie, it's better to have it on DVD so you own it and you have the ability whenever you want to watch it, you can watch it. So lately, sometimes in your life you get into different things, different TV shows. I find myself this year watching a lot of like old shows from like 70s and 80s, especially like science fiction shows. And one of the shows was the show Battlestar Galactica. This is the original, not the recent remake that they made in like 2004. This is the original series from 19 I think it's 1978 to 1979 it aired. Like I said, I've been getting into something like some of these old shows. Maybe it's like a comfort thing. Maybe like I just enjoy the way those shows were made compared to today. But I always wanted to start watching Battlestar Galactica, and it's kind of funny because when I was a kid, I never watched the show. Now, again, I wasn't alive when it first aired, but back in the '90s, if you remember the Sci-Fi Channel, when it was a Sci-Fi Channel, not what it is today, but back in the '90s, they would air like old science fiction shows, like Battlestar Galactica, like Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, Space 1999, the Planet of the Apes TV show. So that was what they, built that entire like network on, was these old like science fiction shows, like The Lost, of course, too. So this was always on, but I don't know why, I never wanted to watch it. I thought maybe it was going to be boring. And that's kind of weird because I was a huge fan of Star Wars and Star Trek. So this would have been a perfect series for me to watch as a kid, and those, the reruns in the '90s and stuff. So I recently, like, of course, when I was like, I want to watch a new show, I checked streaming to see if it's on streaming just to save some money. Of course, this is not wasn't on streaming anywhere. I subscribe. I have like Hulu, I have Netflix, I have Paramount Plus, I have Peacock, Amazon Prime. Of course, you ever is that happen to like the movie you want to see or TV show you want to see? Of course, it's not streaming anywhere. Or you have to you have to buy. You can buy it or rent it. Buy the digital. But I mean, if I want to buy it, I'm not. I don't feel like buying the digital. I want to buy the physical copy because what happens to the digital? Who knows what can happen to it, over time. I guess I don't know. Just having the physical copy. So decided that I wanted to buy this. Now I go on Amazon. There's two like versions of course. I went to Walmart and they do have Battlestar Galactica. Well, not anymore. Of course, when you want something, it's never there in the store. But I remember seeing it. It was the DVD version of this, so it wasn't the Blu-ray. But so I went on Amazon. I was like, hey, maybe I'll see what the Blu-ray costs. So they have two different versions. They have just a version. I guess a set. It was just the Blu-ray of the series, and they also include the Battlestar. What was it? The Galactica 1980. That was like $44. But for $59.99, I got this. This is the definitive collection. And what's the difference? What's the big thing about this one? Well, it includes the widescreen and the full screen. I'll show the discs and the covers. It includes the widescreen, the full screen, plus Battlestar Galactica 1980 widescreen and full screen. And then they also have a separate one of the movie, because apparently what they did was with the pilot, they made it into like a movie and they released it into theaters. So you have like a disc just of the movie. And this was like, when I bought it, it was like $59, around that. Now, recently, when I've gone on to Amazon, the price has dropped. I think it's around like $44 now, but you have to be careful with Amazon because the prices like change, it fluctuates. Like sometimes it goes up and sometimes it goes down. So if you find a price and it's low, take advantage of it, of course. So here it is, Battlestar Galactica. Here's the back cover and give you some information. I guess some of the bonus features. Uh, Again, I went to the show not knowing much about it. So let's take the disc out, and so you get a nice kind of case here. Uh, the only thing I really know is like Dirk Benedict, because I'm a fan of the A Team, and he plays Faceman in the A Team. I knew that was a show that he was in. So like again, so this is the widescreen version of the first season. So again, the show only lasted one season, so everything's is in one case here. And I know online people were talking about widescreen, like why widescreen when it was filmed in like like full, it did widescreen, like stuff like that didn't exist when they were filming it in the late '70s and stuff. But I guess they did it because modern TVs today, everybody pretty much has like the big widescreen TV and stuff. So I like it because it fills up the entire. I'm not like a person like analyzing it. It's like, oh, it's we're missing like the corner of that scene. I don't know. I put it on my TV. I have a 65-inch TV, and it looks amazing. So here's the discs. What the discs look like. So this is the entire season 1. I guess still, well, actually, there's only one season. There it is. I don't know if the light seems it's like that might not be good, but and then you have Galactica 1980. I heard some bad things about this show. It's not really that good, but it's like because it was just, I think it was only 10 episodes. It's like one of those things like, what are these people thinking? These people that make shows, like it's like they thought who thought that was a good idea. And then this is the full frame version of the original Battlestar Galactica. And then basically I guess the discs look a little bit different. The other discs were blue. This one has like black. And then you have Galatica 1980, the full frame. And I think the full frame here is actually 3 discs. I never saw Galactica 1980. Again, that's one of the shows I remember it being on Sci-Fi Channel during the 90s, and reruns and stuff, and never decided to watch it. I don't know. And then the last one, this is actually just the movie itself, Battlestar Galactica, the movie. So basically, I think it's like the first like 2 episodes, or like I think like the pilot episodes of Battlestar Galactica. There you go. No, thinking to myself, did I really need widescreen and full screen, both? It's like almost having double the DVDs really, and I was like, oh, I should have just went with the just the plain old Blu-ray set, which I don't think included this, but it would have saved a couple of $15 maybe, but I just said to myself, I don't want to be some buy it and then regret it. Oh, I should have gotten the widescreen. So doing that, so I watched the first like couple episodes. I'm enjoying it. I think it's for what it was. When I watch a show, it's not like I'm not like a normal person just watch it and like I'm analyzing it. Or I'm thinking back, oh man, thinking about what it was like to, to live in that period of time. I might not be in the future, but living like in that late '70s and sitting down on whatever night this was on, whether it was like a Friday night or Sunday night, and just gathering around the house and in the living room and, putting it on and being a kid and just being excited to, watch the adventures and stuff. And, so it's a really good, like, again, I haven't found this in stores. So like, actually the only really place to buy DVDs around me now is like Walmart. Target's pretty much, I think like Target doesn't like even sell DVDs anymore. Best Buy by me, no more DVDs. So the only really place to really get it is like Amazon. But yeah, so if you're watching this video and you're thinking about getting it, definitely get it. It's a pretty good show. Again, take it what it is. I mean, especially with the special effects, because right today in today's world we're spoiled with all these like CGI and stuff and all these special effects, but definitely definitive collection of Battlestar Galactica.